with Brother Lester and Sister Samia, and we will be discussing about the history of Masjid Muhammad and its association with the Nation of Islam. Brother Lester is our historian for today, and he will be, go ahead, take it away.
Well, we're going to talk about just the history of the, we're looking at Muhammad's Temple number 10 in Atlantic City to start with, and how it got started, some of the people that were here during that time. And a lot of this history that we're going to be talking about today is really just coming to light. And within the last maybe decade, because we didn't know, one thing I didn't know was that the man that we know as Malcolm X, or Al-Haji Malik Shabazz, was actually trained here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, under the leadership of Minister Woodrow Love. We have the actual video of this, of an interview that was done by Dr. Reginald Goddard, Sister Gawanda Abdullah, along with others down in Colbert. This history would have been lost, but you know, it was preserved.
We're talking about Malcolm X. I wanted to ask, what is the significance behind the X after Malcolm?
Well, you know, we wanted to, since we didn't know who we were brought here as slaves. So at that time, our ancestors were brought here as slaves. So they namely changed our names, and we took the last names of the slave master. So at that time, during the Nation of Islam time, they wanted to remove, because we didn't know who we was, remove the last name, at least the last name. So you kept your first name, and because during that time...
The first name, who was that decided by?
Well,
usually your parents.
Your parents.
Okay.
But the last name was the name of the slave master.
Tell us, how are you guys related to Masjid Muhammad here in Atlantic City?
I'll go first.
I'll go first. My name is Jamie Sampson Rex, better known or by others as Samira.
Okay.
My connection to Masjid Muhammad started, I'm going to say, maybe 76, 77. The Masjid Muhammad Center Street is where I first came in, first took Shahada. My connection with Masjid Muhammad came 76, 77. After many years in Catholic school right here in Atlantic City, I attended, my family and all of us attended St. Nicholas of Palatine. So during that time, leaving that school, I got involved with the Islamic community more. At that time, it was more of an empowerment. And I think that's where the Nation of Islam, that's where it all began. It was more of an empowerment movement, not so much the teachings of Islam. It was the betterment of political movement, empowerment, better movement. And that's where I
Do you think you saw a lot of unity there within the Muslim community?
Absolutely, and that was another thing. You know, it was the unity. It was the self-improvement. It was the being proud to be black, being proud to be Muslim, being proud to know that.
What were some ways that you made that known?
Businesses. We were into starting and creating our own businesses. Just community nights. I remember community nights. You know, every Tuesday would be a community night where we would all get together and families, game night, you know, singing, talents, fashion shows. So it was always that involvement, a sense of protection. You know, with the women and the children, always respected. You know, and so that was very big in our community. You were very proud. You know, very, very proud.
And how was that related to Masjid Muhammad? Was Masjid Muhammad a big source of that?
Masjid Muhammad is where it all started.
Okay.
That's the beginning. Masjid Muhammad is where it all started. You know, and I'm going to go from the 1940s to the 1976, the early Islam in Atlantic City. Mosque number 10 went into Masjid Muhammad. It was the Elijah and Sister Clara Muhammad, Warfi Muhammad. That's around the time Warfi Muhammad reorganizes the world community of Al-Islam. When his father passes, that's when the leaders became imams and the temples became mosques. You know what I mean? The social economic movement at that time was extremely strong.
My name is Lester Muhammad. Grew up here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. In fact, right around the corner from Muhammad's Temple number 10, which was located at 419 Madison Avenue. I grew up right there, about a block away, block and a half from Vermont Avenue. I was, even as a young boy, because the Muslims in Atlantic City had a lot of businesses. And one of those businesses was Shabazz Grocery and Deli, which was located at 314 Madison Avenue. And even as a young boy, I would help Mr. Sultan Shabazz, one of the pioneer brothers. And he was had a bakery and a grocery store, and that famous Muslim bean pie was made there. In fact, that pie was so famous that even today, as I go around the city, people ask me, when y'all coming back? When are you gonna start making that pie again, man? I gotta get that pie again. In between 73 and 75, I was very active in the temple operations here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. In fact, we had several businesses, one at 1111 Arctic Avenue, 202 North Rhode Island Avenue, one on Kentucky Avenue, right on 1500, the 15th block of Arctic Avenue. And we were very active in trade and commerce at that time. And I was running one of the businesses at 1111, but also had my own business up at 202 North Rhode Island Avenue. So all of this ties into where we are today in terms of trying to make a difference. And as the community transitioned from that social reform movement to the best practices of Islam in 75, that's when the names changed from temples to masjids, or in fact, the matter went from mosques to masjids. And then this thing started to change. Leadership, the whole 9 yards, everything began to change. Imam Muhammad, the son, began to open up the community, begin to talk about what was going on in internal operations within the community that very few people knew about. But we began to see really what was going on inside the community that we didn't know. And that changed a whole lot. And the movement started to move definitely towards the proper understanding of Islam. Like I said, the first 40 years, from 45 years, from 1930, as they say, the Nation of Islam started July 30th, 1930, July the 4th, 1930, up until 75. There was a lot of problems, internal problems. And one of the things we have to understand, even during that period of time, the Nation of Islam was heavily infiltrated by the government.
Of course.
And it was really trying to
break free from it.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. The government already knew the Nation of Islam was never a threat. They knew that. They just wanted to control the narrative
Clearly.
within the nation. They wanted it to be what we wanted it to be.
As they have always been doing.
Right. So they knew the Nation of Islam was never a threat. But they knew his son might cause problems because his son was trying to move us back really truly towards freedom, justice, and equality, and really trying to establish the proper understanding of Islam. As long as there was a mixed message at that point, then they could control that narrative. But when the son came in office, that whole changed.
When it comes to the Nation of Islam, would you say that a lot of its inside operations happen here in Atlantic City?
All across the country.
Oh, these primary sources, these pictures, I see a lot of Muhammad Ali in them. Could you please tell me more about it? Tell me more about this picture. This one's really standing out to me.
This picture here was taken uptown, which is in Atlantic City, right in front of the temple, in the middle of the street, 419 Madison Avenue. Right. And this photograph, this image, or likeness of this image, is on at PNC Bank parking lot, along with it's right down the street, here on
Oh, okay.
Right. When you go there, you'll see this image, a likeness of this image, along with Dr. Martin Luther King and Family Lou Hamer. These were all famous people that visited Atlantic City, New Jersey. So this is new. This is something that went up. And Muhammad Ali, when you look at, he was here in the 60s and spent a lot of time with us in Atlantic City, New Jersey, visiting the temples as he did all across the country, speaking and doing a lot of other things. When he would come here to Atlantic City, Imam Kyrie, they would contact Imam Kyrie Shakur, and he would actually ask brothers or certain brothers to help and assist him while he was here in the city. And this is, I was one of those brothers that he would ask from time to time to just to stay with him.
You met him, huh?
Yeah.
The big shot.
Yeah, stay with him and just to assist him while he was here in the city. When you look at Muhammad Ali and what he did in his life, it's really about giving a life of, service. Yeah. And we're going back to, we were talking about education. I don't know if you really wanted to, but when you look at the educational, Muhammad's Temple number 10 had a University of Islam here. And one of your professors here today, Kaleem Shabazz, was the director.
Kaleem Shabazz is a professor as well?
Yeah, was one of the, he actually teaches here now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kaleem, he was teaching, right? Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Kaleem when he was actually the director of the University of Islam in Atlantic City, 419 Madison Avenue.
What is there now?
Well, actually now that site is now a park and the new Uptown Complex.
Alrighty, Shakita, where are we off to now?
We are going to be visiting Masjid Muhammad. It is literally like an avenue or two away from Staff University's campus. If you move the camera and shift it that way, we'll see we are in the community slot right now and we shall be cruising. Here we go. Okay, so that is Masjid Muhammad right over there. And what I want to say is that I won't go inside the building because I generally do not have time. But that is Masjid Muhammad, and that is now the most prominent place where all Muslims come together. Sorry, there's so many guys. Where all Muslims come together and pray in congregation. And such rich history has happened for it all to come back here in this building. This building is rich, and I came here to take a video of that rich history and that location of that rich history. I forgot to mention that this is the bridge of Albany. If you guys go on the shuttles, we go past this every single day. The school campus, I took a video, you guys should know, but the school campus is literally 2-3 avenues down. We have a prominent historical building here in Atlantic City, right next to our school. We should all check it out one day. Wow, there's no more cars. You guys can probably hear me better. But yes, that is Masjid Muhammad, guys.